Style for Life. I'm Stephanie Rumble, fashion stylist, accountability coach, and your guide to feeling good in your body and your clothes. Based in Christchurch, New Zealand, I bring over 3 decades of experience in fashion, fitness, and wellness to help you feel strong, stylish, and self-assured. Together we'll explore the emotional, physical, and practical sides of style, because true confidence starts from within. No matter your age or size, you deserve to feel confident and show up as the best version of you. I truly believe this. This is Style for Life. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the podcast again today. I am really excited to be here talking to you about colour analysis and about what getting your colours done actually means. Because I know it's been huge recently. There's so many celebrities talking about it and so much on social media everywhere, all about colour analysis. And it's something that I've been doing for 18 years. All of the time I've been a fashion stylist, and it's something I just think it's good to understand. Now, obviously you are going to be listening to this, many of you, but this also gets uploaded to YouTube. So if you feel like you want to watch, I'm going to use some props and some bits and pieces as I go through the discussion today, but I will also describe everything. So if you are earpods in or whatever you wear and you're out listening, then you'll still get loads out of this. So first of all, I just want to say that I have done a session at a podcast on colour analysis before, but I just really wanted to do it again. And I think the reason I want to do it again is because I just want to clarify the service. So it's one of the services I offer in my offering of styling services, and it is one of the most popular services I offer, and it has ebbed and flowed in popularity over the time that I've been a stylist. But I fundamentally know, believe, and understand that when you understand which colours work for you, then it's so much easier to get dressed. It's so much easier to choose clothes. You feel better. Everything makes a whole lot more sense. So I'm going to go through, first of all, and describe what colour analysis is. So it's where you assess your skin tone, your hair, your eyes, and identify a specific palette of colours that make you look more radiant, enhance your natural beauty, and make you make smarter and more informed wardrobe and makeup choices. So when you have all that information, you can actually take it and you can go, I know that this is going to work really well for me, so I'm going to look at purchasing that. And there's a whole lot of benefits to colour analysis as well. So, why would we do colour analysis? Well, first of all, like I said, it boosts your natural beauty. So it makes you look healthier. It makes you look more alive. Your skin looks more radiant and your features look more balanced. I know that sounds so like a lot when we're looking at how colour analysis can do this, but I do see people who are not wearing the right colours and these things don't occur for them. So they look pale a lot, or they look a little bit unwell, or you can see dark circles under the eyes all the time. All of those things, and colour analysis and colour, understanding your colours means that your best features are enhanced. It also very much simplifies your decision making. So, there's particular stores around New Zealand that stock colours. Like a really good example of this is Seed, right? Seed Heritage Limited. They stock homewares, women's wear, men's wear. I don't know if they have men's wear, and also children's wear. In Christchurch, it's just children's wear and women's wear. And when you go to the store, there's usually a palette or 2 palettes that are in season, and they have like 15 garments in that particular colour. And then that palette sells through and they have another colour. So it might be yellow, it could be brown, it could be black, it could be white, it could be turquoise. And so, I know that when that particular colour, like a particular colour is in there that's going to work for my client, I'm going to go into store right there and then on that day, and then I'm going to take that client in there. So it simplifies decision making, and you can choose things which naturally complement your colouring, right? So that's a really good thing about knowing your colours, is it simplifies your decision making. So you're like, I actually know I look good in this, I like this, I've tried it on, let's do it. And it enhances your appearance. So you look more radiant and energetic when you don't wear colours that wash you out. Okay, so choosing colours that enhance you mean that you'd never look washed out. It's so funny. People say to me all the time that I've got great skin. And look, I probably have got quite good skin, but I think it's because I always wear colours that work for me. You would never see me in something that doesn't work for me. Why would I? Why would I ever, in any instance, wear something that doesn't work for me? Like, I remember once being asked to do a job. I got a job interview and I got offered a job and I turned it down because the uniform felt terrible, and actually I didn't really want the job anyway. But I couldn't have gone to work every day wearing this awful uniform that I knew wasn't going to make me feel good, and then I couldn't do such a good job. So, you know, colour is very integrally linked to who we are when we understand who we are. So let me explain how a colour consultation works, what tools you get at the end of it, and then how you can apply and use these tools in your life. So first of all, what happens in a colour analysis is we analyse your skin undertone. We look for a yellow undertone, which is usually warmish in tone, or we look for a cool undertone, right? So warm or cool undertone. And it's really hard to tell. You can't just look at someone and go, oh, I think they might be warm or cool. Like if your skin is olive, it's not necessarily warm. I know that's really confusing. That's because the undertone is different from the overtone, and the overtone determines whether it looks olive or not. So we look at that first. So we look at and analyse your skin undertone, and we can usually tell there's usually a few cute clues. Like, for example, yesterday I had a client in who had a colour analysis revision. She came back to me to get the colour app, which I have, and she wanted to revise her colours, which was really cool. And I knew immediately when I saw her again that her colours were going to be similar because her skin had stayed similar to what it was when I saw her 5 years ago. So, and the signs in her skin gave me a really good indication of whether she's warm or cold. Now, you only know this when you've had some training, right? We've had comprehensive training as fashion stylists or image consultants to do this work. So I trained at Otago University. I did a 5-year degree in clothing. We studied many aspects of colour in the process of that. And then when I'd left university and had some years out, when I trained to be a stylist, I've done 2 stylist training courses. One I did with a consultant in Tauranga, which was a great start. And then I wanted to deepen my knowledge, and I went to Australia and attended an Image Innovators training course. So, you know, it depends where your training is, but you need to be trained in colour analysis, generally to get the warm or cool undertone to the skin. Some people, it's really obvious. You can see them immediately. You're like, I can see that person is this, or this, although I have done that and I have been wrong. Like recently, I had a lovely man who came in to have his colour analysis done. And on first glimpse, I thought he was definitely a cool and muted or a cool and clear, because his hair was very white and he wasn't that old. It had been for years. It was greyed white. But when I did the analysis, he was actually a soft warm. And so that was like a soft autumn. And that was such an interesting analysis to find that out. So you don't know exactly until you really get someone there. You put the colours in front of them and you see what works. So you've got to be able to analyse an undertone of the skin with some training and understanding in how to do this. If you don't have any training and understanding, then you're guessing, right? And some people have an instinct for this, and I do understand that. But really and truly, training is definitely the way to go. So then you want to look at the intensity or the chroma. So really how light or dark are someone's features. So they really, really dark, like they've got very, very dark brown or black skin, right? They've got dark eyes, dark hair, right? Whether the features are light or dark, right? So you're looking at the intensity of the features. So for example, I've got relatively light eyes, lightish skin and darker hair, right? So what's the intensity in my colouring, right? So that's the intensity, is what's the difference between my features as well. So somebody who has very similar eyes, hair, skin has a different intensity in their colouring to somebody who has a lot of difference between the three. There's a lot of complexity here. And then the value is how light or dark your colouring actually is. So again, that very dark skinned person I was talking about with dark hair and dark eyes, they're going to need colours that offset that. If you put them in very, very dark colours, they can look very dark. So conversely, if you put someone who's very, very light in colouring and very, very light colours that are really close to their skin tone, they're going to look washed out. So it's about finding actually where all of those things line up and how they come together. And it's an art and a science, like medicine is. Medicine is an art and a science, and so is colour analysis. There's definitely science to it, but there's a bit of creativity and understanding of colour to get that in the right place. So then you want to look at whether someone has a warm, as I said, or a cool undertone, and whether they have a clear colouring or more muted colouring. Again, all these things we take into consideration. You don't have to worry too much about it, but they all inform the decision we make at the end about your colour analysis. Now, I want to tell you a bit about the history of colour analysis before I go into the details of how we colour code somebody. So, first of all, I think I told you this in my first podcast on colour, which was one of my very first podcasts. I think it might have been podcast number 2, right back 18 months ago when I started. And I told you that when I was 16, I had my colours done because my mother looked very different from me. She had dark hair, dark eyes, and I was at the time quite blonde, and I had already blonde and I had blue eyes. So I got my colours done when I was 16, and I got this palette, which I still have. I know, I've kept it all these years. I must have known, right? And so this was done by the Fashion Academy. It was some lady who was traveling the country doing colours at the time. I think I was about, so 16, I would have been, I was 82, it would have been about 1988 maybe, or something like that. And so this is what the colour palette actually looks like. I'm just going to open it out for you. And this is the deck that I got given in 1988. So if you're still getting given a deck like this, it might be that your consultant is working with a really old system or a system that still uses this deck, things that haven't changed much for their system. It looks like this, right? It looks like a paint chart. So you can pull off the colours. It's hard to see online. And it looks, for those of you who are listening, it looks a little bit like a paint card with light to dark colours all the way through. And this I was called a spring. So that was my season there. So that's how I started. And I used this a bit. 16, I took it or left it, but I kind of knew that those colours worked for me. And it was quite helpful to understand. And there was a little bit of information at the beginning of the palette which told me a wee bit about my colour personality and about how to wear things. And it told me I should wear gold and not silver and a few other bits and pieces. So, kind of useful information that was useful for a 16-year-old and useful for me in that first part of my life. Then when I started to do colour analysis myself, so I trained in this when I was 30-something, 31 maybe, I went to Tauranga and trained with a consultant up there, and I got this colour palette, which I used to use and give to everyone. Gosh, it's all upside down and topsy-turvy now. And it has this in it. Now, this is a really old-style colour palette, right? So really old style. If you're getting this kind of colour palette, and for those of you who are listening, it's in a black plasticky cover. You open it up, and it's got clear plastic bits, and it's got little cards with fabric inside it. Now, when I used this, I didn't feel like it was really sitting with my brand. Didn't feel like it was great, but I used it for a few years. My clients got these, they got kept in their wallet, and it had information on the back of all of the cards and had a bit of stuff, so it was a good start. So I used that till 2011, and then when I retrained in the new colour system and went over to Australia and did some more training and to be a much better personal stylist and image consultant and fashion stylist all together, I went to Australia and I trained under Image Innovators, and they are a really, really great company. And one of the reasons I trained with them is I went to a conference in Australia for fashion stylists, and I saw some of the other products other stylists were using. So I decided to upgrade my own because I'd never felt great about that black one I showed you. So I updated to this system here, and some of you will have come to me at Westfield, come to me at other places, and we did colour analysis and got these fan decks. And these are cool. This was good. You could pull out a colour, you could see if you suited it, you could have a look at it, you could hold it next to your face, you could go, oh yes, I look nice in that, or yes, my top does work with this, etc., etc. But again, I still enjoyed using this. It's got lots of information on the back of it. It has like a whole lot of information at the start, and I do have access to these still, but they were admin, like we had to put this, I had a wee cover, swatch cover like this, which it went in like that, and it went in your handbag. But still, nowadays we have everything digital. So in 2022, I worked with a company in Australia. They put together a colours app, and I was so stoked. Image Innovators are one of the only companies in the world that has a personally designed colours app. Now, you can do an AI one online, and honestly, I'm yet to get correctly coded using AI online. I've also done them where you've gone in face-to-face into an AI-generated screen in a mall. Always get me wrong, right? The colors are not right. So AI is not quite there yet in terms of working out color analysis. I still think it needs a human eye because people have things you can't spot on a screen or with a camera. Even when you get really, really close, you can't spot them. So in 2022, I signed up with Image Innovators and they brought out your color ID. Now, again, this is a screen on a screen, which is never great. This is showing you here all of the different colors that I suit. So those of you who can't see, I'm using my phone and I'm scrolling through showing the colors that I have in my colors app for me. This is the same thing that we do for everybody. So if I want to find out a bit more about whether the color suits me, I tap into the middle of the color and then it loads the color up, and then I can tap the center of the color and see how I look in the color. So very, very, very good app. It also has the ability to show you all the other colors that you suit, and you can scroll through and work out what you might wear this particular color with. Again, it's very, very effective. There's actually 16 different color groups now. So we work this out, and I think this is state of the art. This is innovation. This is 2025 when it comes to colors. Watch this space. There's some really exciting things happening for me in this colors space too. So I'm going to be taking this out more widely, but just watch the space. So team, I would like to say that if you are getting your colors done, you want to be sticking with a digital form. I do know that some of these are still around in circulation and they're okay. If you get your colors done and just get a little page with a few colors on it, really tricky to find out exactly whether that color suits you. Again, if you think about our colors app, you can take the color. I'm just going to see if this works. It's really hard again, that being an online situation, but I'm going to try and hold it up to my top. And again, you can see that the top colors in the top are the same. It's really similar to the app. So, you can use it that way. You can use it to compare online. You can hold it up with online in an online way when you're trying to shop online. It is really effective. And there's so many colors in there. So that even these big swatches, all of these old ones like this, they're limited. They only have a certain number of colors in them. I'm holding up, for those of you who are listening, I'm holding up card-based systems or fabric-based systems. You don't get a huge number. Whereas when you're working with the app, there's over 150 colors. And that you're not limited to that. We teach you how to expand that out into other hues. So you're not limited to just what's there. You have thousands of options. So yeah, if you've always been thinking, I don't want to get my colors done, it's too limiting. Honestly, it's so the opposite of that. It is a mind-blowing experience. It shows you that there's so much out there. In fact, I had a client yesterday who came to see me, like I said, for a colors revision and to get the app. And I was showing her how, the color doesn't have to be perfectly exact with the color that you're wearing. It just needs to be close and in the same family. I think that's what's really important to understand too. So it's just making sure that it is close. So for example, I'm what you would call warm and clear and bright. So I suit bright, warm, spring-like colours. But I also can borrow some colours from the autumn palette. They also look nice on me because my hair is quite dark. And because of my colouring, I can do that. So I was showing her how, some of the colours mix. We have a colour system. Like I said, there's 16 different colour groups. This one shows 12. You can see up here we have what we call the cool and clears. Down here we have what we call the cool and muteds, which are the old summers. Here we have what we call the warm and muteds, which are the autumns. And here we have the warm and clear, which are the springs. We also have additions in this for people with grey hair. We have versions of the warm and clear that are blonde or brunette. So that's how we expand out the options. And your palette is customized to you, which is a really, really cool thing as well. So it's not just a generic thing. It's customized to you. We go through it with you. We help you work out which are your best colors, what colors you really like, what are your signature colors. And I just discovered today, which is amazing, because I just had a big session online with my provider about how we can use the app better, about how I can show you which colors are in the season and how they relate to your coloring as well, which is actually excellent. So there's 3 types of colors in the world. There's the colors that look great on you. Yeah, why not wear them all the time? And that's why you get colors done. There's colors that look good on you, which you can wear, that are still going to be okay. And then there's the colors that look bad on you. So when we do a color analysis, one of the things to understand is that everyone suits every color. It's not just that not everyone can wear blue. Everyone can wear blue. Everyone can wear versions of blue, different versions. Some can wear lots more versions than others because of their cooler colouring. Like I have some blues, but my blues are a little different to what somebody who had like a summer or a cool and muted colouring could be, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you and a few examples of this. So for example, this is my colouring, which is what we call clear spring or bright spring. So I suit these warm toned colours. And you can see here that we've got blues, greens, purples, really oranges, some light colours and some greys and things up on the top here. If we look at one of the other colour groups, so we look at what we call a cool summer. Now, for those of you again who are listening, same thing. They have the blues, they have the greens, they have the pinks, not so many oranges, and they have different colours in here. So this is just a tiny snapshot of the colours that would work for them. If we want to look at, for example, somebody who is what we might have used to be called a winter, their colours, again, same things. They suit green, they suit yellow, they suit blue, they suit pinks, and they have some ice colours. They also suit black. Just so you know, not everybody suits black. So again, just really understanding that every colour group has versions of colours. Again, I'm now holding up an autumn colour palette, which has, again, all of the colours we've talked about in it and just different versions. So when you are having your colours done, you're not restricted to not wearing particular colours. There's just going to be some colours that work for you and some colours that in certain shades and hues work even better, right? So for example, if you think about yellow, like I always talk about yellow because I like it. One of my favourite colours. It's a colour that everyone's quite scared of. And it's because Caucasian people particularly, and some Asian people as well, look terrible in the wrong yellow, right? And yellow has cool versions, like an icy, acidy, bright yellow, and it has warm versions, like the colours in my top, which are like a mustardy, orangey kind of version of yellow. So there's different versions of yellow, and I think it's understanding which one works for you, and it looks great on everybody. And I hear so often people say, oh, I couldn't possibly wear yellow. It's a terrible colour for me. So really important to understand which version of the colour works for you. There's a few colours that don't work for everybody. I'm really sorry to say that black is one of them. And we are a nation of black lovers. I did do a podcast about 4 podcasts ago about, is black really a great colour for you? So you can listen to that and decide how you feel about that. And despite what some other people may say, black is definitely not a colour for everybody, especially where you're near your face. So when we're talking about colours, we're looking at what happens near your face, right? So you can wear whatever colour you like on your bottom half. Like I personally don't look good in burgundy or in a hot cerise pink, but I love both those colours and I have trousers in both those colours and I find they work great in my wardrobe as a neutral and they still do tone nicely with my warm, clear, bright spring colours. So I do find that you can do that. So if you're a black lover, let's get you in some nice colours down the centre here and have you wearing that's in the face area. And if you want to wear your black, have it on the outside or on the bottom half. I think too, also understanding what colours suit you helps you to choose shoes better. I think one of the things I've noticed with my clients is, when I first often work with people, I just have black shoes. Everyone thinks that black shoes are the answer. And look, black shoes can be great in some situations, particularly for a uniform. 2 of my daughters work in hospo, and so they wear black shoes and black trousers, and that's part of their uniform, and that works nicely. But for myself, like I have so many pairs of shoes, but I have hardly any black. And I do wear them when the occasion arises, but they are not difficult, they seem like an easy colour to wear. But when you understand and know all of your colours in your palette, you will be able to choose shoes that work with you as well. So it might be that they're camel or cream, or in the case today, I'll show you the shoes I'm wearing today. Of course, they're orange. And these were a collaboration by Bo Coops and Karen Walker like years ago. They are like, oh my goodness, these are loafers. I love loafers. They're quite old. They're orange. They're patent. I reckon 10 years old. I think, again, once you start collecting clothes that suit you, you'll find that they really will be something that you'll wear for a really long time, and you'll find that your shoes and all of the other things harmonise. So just coming back to this as well. So if you do a colour consultation with us, what happens? First of all, we sit you down and have a bit of a chat with you. We need you to do some preliminary work. So when you come to a colour consult with me, you get an email first with quite a bit of information in it, and you also get a request to send through a photo, which I give you lots of direction around, and then I can do some background work and behind the technical aspects of our app, so that when you come to the consult, I'm not sitting typing on my computer. And then you come along and we have a chat about what you like, what you don't like, what you're looking for out of the consult, where you want to go with it. And then I show you some colours and you tell me what you like and don't like. And then I ask you some questions about your skin tone, your history, your family. And then we sit you down and I take colours and put them in front of you. So the first thing we do is we work out whether you're a light or a dark colouring. So naturally, are you light or dark? And even though I look like I'm mid-brown, we start by putting... I'm using a light here because I'm mid-brown hair colour. So this is a cool colour. It looks okay on me. But if I take this one away, and you can see if you're looking here, that was like it is chambray blue first, which looks okay on me. But if we take this chambray blue away and we look underneath here, and we have sky blue, which is more aqua-based, I look so much better in that. Not that I looked bad in the first one, but I look so much better in the sky blue. Another really good one to show you here is the lilac versus pansy. So the lilac colour for me is a bit draining. It's a bit old and fusty on me. On the right person, it looks incredible. But if we take that cool one away and we come back to the pansy, which is the warm colour, I do look so much better. So just to show you, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see. So that's how we work out whether you're warm or cold to start with. So we go through that first diagnostic drape process, and it's really just about seeing what looks best with your skin tone, your eyes, your hair, what makes you look pale, what makes you look vibrant, what makes you come alive, or what kills your complexion. And then at the end of that, we then go back and we start working out whether we've worked out whether you're warm or cool, and then we decide which warm or which cool you are. So if you're warm, you would be what we used to be called a spring or an autumn. If you're a cool, you'd be what we used to call a summer or a winter. And then we pull down and we break that down further now. So we call it warm and clear, which would be spring, cool and clear, which would be winter, warm and muted, which is summer. So then we go, and within each of those groups, there's between 3 and 5 different subgroups. And based on your hair colour, your age, we then do that as well. So we bring you down into your different subgroups and work out how we go from there. Then at the end, when we've worked out which of those 4 subgroups you are, we then take it and have a look at a whole lot of other factors and ask you lots of questions, and then I upload the app background for you. We work out some of your signature and favourite colours and add those in, and then we talk you through the app. And the app is so comprehensive. Oh my goodness. I teach you about colour theory, how to put colour together, how to wear makeup, in your colours. There is so much in there that is so useful, and there's a little piece that's just for you. So it's all about your colouring, your value, how to wear contrast, because contrast in colours makes a huge difference to how colour looks on you as well. So what's the contrast levels like, and how's that looking? So honestly, I could talk for hours and hours about colour because I really, really love it. I firmly and utterly and completely believe and know that colour analysis is the starting key and bastion to great style. I don't shop with anyone unless we've done a colour analysis. It's just part of who I am. I believe ethically, for me as a personal stylist, an image consultant, a fashion stylist, it is the underpinning and fundamental of looking good. Even when I'm dressing a model for a shoot, when I'm styling people or businesses for a photo shoot, colour is the start. I just recently on Friday worked with a business. We did a photo shoot with them, and we discussed colour first before we discuss what they were going to wear in their photos. And then we looked at the colours, and then some of them brought things along that worked. Others I helped them select things. And a couple of people I went out and actually selected things on their behalf. So, it makes all the difference. So if you have listened to this and gone, aha, I need to do this, then you just need to reach out to me, and you'll find on my website lots of information about colour analysis. You'll find a contact form there. You can reach out, you can book a colour analysis, or you can reach out to me and I'll find a time that works for you. You only need 1.5 to 2 hours and a phone and a photo sent to me first, which I can help you with. If you can't do that, I can do it on the spot. So I would love to help you move into a place where your future is full of color. You express the person that you really are through your clothes. So your clothes are a reflection of you, yeah? Rather than thinking there's something that you think there should be, right? And also your wardrobe is easy, it's fun, and it goes together. So I absolutely appreciate you listening to my podcast. You are amazing. Thank you so much. We've hit 12K of downloads, which just blows my mind. So thank you so much, everybody. And you know how to get in touch with me if you want a color analysis. Thank you for listening to the Style for Life podcast. Don't forget, you deserve to feel fabulous at every age, every stage, and at every size. If you're loving the show, hit subscribe and leave a review. It helps more amazing people like you find their way back to life through style. Thanks again. Until next time.